All right, in modules, and we are still in our invasion module, but not for much longer. We are ready to wrap this up with our kind of capstone assignment for this module. Specifically, this discussion assignment right here, right, under today's Do Now. Should the U.S. worry about threats on its borders? So to this point, we've learned some important things. We learned two important things about the Roman Empire. First, that it was weakened by an influx of Germanic peoples that did not become Roman. Right? They did not assimilate into Roman culture. Right? They did not necessarily learn the language or the customs. Right? And this did weaken the Roman Empire. The empire, though, was actually ended by invasion and conquest by Germanic groups, right, like the Visigoths or the Vandals or the Goths. So we know that that's what ultimately brought Rome down. As we have investigated migration to the United States and U.S. relations with its neighboring peoples, specifically its neighbors to the north, Canada. And that means you are now equipped to compare the situation of the U.S. now with the situation of the Roman Empire as it crumbled and fell apart. Specifically, you now have what you need to be able to answer the question that has been driving us through this module. Does the U.S. face threats from foreign groups that are similar to the threats that helped bring down the Roman Empire? And again, we're not saying, is the United States vulnerable to an invasion by Germanic tribes? No. For one thing, there aren't Germanic tribes anymore. They're Germans. And they don't want to invade the United States. What instead we're talking about is, does the U.S. face threats from foreign groups, whether it's invasion from Canada or from the South? In this discussion, you're going to share and explain your answer to that question. Your first post must include the following. Your specific answer to the question, does the U.S. face these threats? Then, and here's where you need to switch into your sell me a car mindset. You need to sell me on your answer. Two pieces of evidence from your work in this module that you think are the strongest pieces of evidence to support your answer. Again, as with any sales pitch, you've got to tell me what's going on with the other side, right? And its merits, its strong points. So you need to tell me two arguments or pieces of evidence that go against, that challenge your answer. But still in sell me a car mindset, you need to wrap up with your final sales pitch, which is an argument explaining why your answer and your supporting evidence are superior to, are better than the other side, right? The challenges to your argument that you introduced in step 3. All right, that's going to be your initial post. You then need to reply to your classmates. I want 3 meaningful replies to other posts. To help you understand just how much I want those meaningful replies, let's look at your points breakdown. Your initial post is worth 12 points. 2 points for each item required in steps 1 through 4. Your replies are worth 21 points. 7 points each. I want high-quality, meaningful replies. What does a meaningful reply look like? Okay, let's go back to our imaginary food scenario. All right, I want you to imagine the following. This is going to be a little different than what we used as our example before with somebody in their actual family member, but let's imagine this hypothetical. Your grandmother made you homemade spaghetti and meatballs. You take a few bites and your grandmother asks, what do you think of your food? Your answer could be, either of these non-meaningful replies that provide no detailed feedback to your grandmother. I like it. It tastes good. It's perfectly nice. It's not meaningful. Right? Or you could say, I don't like it. It does not taste good. Again, not meaningful. Why doesn't it taste good? Right? These are the kind of replies I'm getting from a lot of people in discussion assignments, and not just in my world history classes, right? In my sociology class, in my law and citizen class. I want you to do better. This, right, is what a meaningful reply looks like. Right? Provides specific detail. Right? Specific detail and in-depth feedback. I like it. Here's why. The oregano and basil in the red sauce are just right, and the meatballs are perfectly cooked. Right? They don't fall apart, but they're not too tough. Right? Or I don't like it. You used more basil than is usual, and the red sauce is too strongly seasoned. Also, you added fennel to the meatballs, and now they taste too much like licorice. Those are meaningful replies. I want the same kind of detail, right, and in-depth feedback when you reply to your classmates. If Frank tells us that migration from the South is a huge threat, right, that Latin Americans are invading this country and they're going to make the republic collapse, right, and Rod reads that and is like, Frank, I disagree, right? I want Rod to tell me why he disagrees with Frank. Right? Tell me, Frank, man, I think you're wrong, and the biggest reason is this. Like, these people aren't an armed group, and they're just coming here to escape bad things at home and to have a good opportunity here. They're not an invasion. It's not a threat. That's a meaningful reply. Right? So just kind of use this as your touchstone. Right? If what you have written is the equivalent of this, right, you're in good shape. All right, now, for this assignment, you've got plenty of time. That is not an invitation for you to squander it. It's not due until the start of school on Monday, September 26th. All right, remember, we're not even here on Friday.
We're not?
You're not. Teachers still have to go to work, but students are off the hook. Right? So, good news for you, right? And take it. I'm happy for you. Thank you. All right. Now, that said, before you start the discussion assignment, you need to make sure that you have got your other work in this module finished. All right, so let's get a reminder of what that is. All right. Now, if you have not finished, all right, and guys, this again, please do not make me raise my voice through my mask to talk over you. All right, Threats of Invasion to the United States, Part 1, or Threats of Invasion to the United States, Part 2, the assignment we started yesterday, right, and should have finished by today. If you are not finished with those, do those first, right, and then move on to the discussion assignment. Okay, but either way, you guys have got plenty to keep you busy, and we will have an exit slip at the end of class. All right, any questions? All right, let's get to it.